Going to the next one. Okay, the topic is like, is AMA overhyped? So let me give a little premise. We write syllabus for many Ayurveda schools in US and all. We are associated with like 5 to 6 Ayurveda schools in US, Europe, and whatnot. So when we are writing, this word AMA keeps on coming up in almost every page of their syllabus book. And for any disease, what is the role of AMA? They keep on going in that route, and they want to explore everything in terms of AMA. But if you study the standard Ayurveda textbooks, Chara Samhita and all, most of the things are explained in terms of doshas and dosha imbalance leading to disease, and there is no like AMA caused disease classification for a few things. It may be there, but for not all, AMA has been explained in a great way. So I think there is a little bit of extra importance that is being given to AMA, rather that the focus point should be dosha, how they interact with each other, or how they interact with particular tissue to cause disease. What are your thoughts about that?
See, both have its significance. Doshas are also significant in a samprapti, in a chain, and even in any Nijaroga, Ama is also very important. We cannot simply say it is a hype. We come across, see, I used to learn while my BMS during those times. For every disease, whenever I say it is Roga Sarvepi Jayante Mandagno, for everything it is said Mandagni, Mandagni, Mandagni. We were worried, wondered why, what is this Mandagni? For everything Mandagni comes from, where it comes, and we are unable to understand it in a right sense at that time. Then whenever such thing is that, then Adyashana, Anashana, these things were there. We used to accept it and read it for the sake of examination, but we didn't understand it in a right sense at the time. But once now we are using that, and we are in a clinical practice area since over many years, now we could able to analyze and try to find out those areas with a very fine analysis. Then we know that what is exactly the Adyashana is doing, what is exactly Anashana is doing, what is exactly the Mithyashana is doing, and similarly what exactly the Ama's role is. So it's not, I cannot say that Ama is a hyper, somewhat it has been exaggerated, but it is a real thing. Ama, it is very common in most of the diseases of Nijaroga, and it will be there. That's the reason we many times give in all the patients first something like called Amapachana Dravyas. Once Amapachana is achieved, then only we can move further. So this is a very important area that we should not say that it is a hype, but there is Ama. There is a role of Ama, but of course, without dosha, nothing can happen. Without Agni, nothing can happen. The role of dosha, Agni, everything will be there. Then only this Ama is produced. So Kavai Gunya is produced. So all these are having a very important their roles. Everybody has to perform their role. Then only a real manifestation of disease takes place, and real breaking of that will only cause the chikitsa. We cannot simply say that if there is no Kavai Gunya inside, then how can the disease manifest? It is not possible. If doshas are in equilibrium, then Nama cannot generate. So that's the reason many a times, even though Viruddha Ahara is consumed by a person, we don't find any disease in them. But similar Viruddha Ahara consumed by an older person gets diseased. The simple reason is his body having a very good Agni. So it's whatever the wrong things or wrong deeds he has done, because of his age and Agni, he has digested and overcome that ill effects. But in an aged person, that may not be possible. Then he gets into the trap of disease. So that's the reason we should understand that simply it is not hyped, it is a reality, but it should be understood with the what you call minuteness of that. You should understand it very minutely. We can go into the aspects of Ama to understand.
So when you do, you prescribe a panchakarma to your clients ahead of Snehana. Will you always consider Dipana Pachana ahead of Snehana in a Panchakarma eligible patient?
Definitely we need to, because see, we need to understand that whenever there is a panchakarma has to be done, it is a part of Shodhana Chikitsa. It's a very clear concept in Ayurveda. Shodhana has to be done when there is a Bahu Doshaja Vyadi. Vyadi is having lot of dosha and ama is still more. When such morbid quantity of ama is there and the dosha imbalance is so severe, then we call it as a Bahu Doshaja. There is a disturbance of quantum nature. So to overcome that, then we need to go for the Amapachana, Agnivardhana, then only we can go for the further Snehana and Svedana. It is a common practice. And if we are not going for Amapachana, means directly being going for this real Panchakarma, means there is something wrong. Our assessment is somewhere gone wrong, because we have to select the patient for the Shodhana only if it is a particular nature of the doshic imbalance should be there. Otherwise, we need to take the patient for Shodhana therapy periodically, for season wise, based on the season, like Vasanta Rutu, Vamana, Sharad Rutu, Virechana, Varsha Rutu, Basti. All these are for the maintenance type of thing. That is the maintenance of the health. For that purpose, we are rejuvenating type of things. We are doing it. Other areas where disease-oriented Shodhana is done, then we need to understand that. But that particular condition, the doshas or imbalance is comparatively much bigger, much wider. So that needs to be curtailed. So you need to have a Amapachana Dravya Prayoga for a few days, then Agni Vardhana Dravya, then only we can go for the further Panchakarma. Then only we can go for the Shodhana.